in front of you. That's right, we got some carrots, some zucchini and some squash, asparagus, a sweet onion, and some big, nice, giant, nice, good and nice portobello mushroom caps. With all of these crispy, fresh, and delicious vegetables here, it's time to make one of my favorite appetizers in history. We're going to do some vegetable tempura! Enough oil to do deep frying is gonna take a while to heat up. So I have it on a medium-low heat right now while we're about to prepare our vegetables, so this will be nice and hot when we need it. So a tempura is basically a very, very thin batter, and you fry it. And it's super thin, super light and crispy, and it's just good. Typically, a tempura is gonna be either vegetables, shellfish, or fish that is getting fried. But I suppose you could tempura anything you'd like. And tempura vegetables is one of my favorite ways to do it. So let's get started on the vegetables. Here we have some beautiful, crispy, delicious asparagus. And typically, you don't want this end piece because that's gonna be a little hard and woody. Normally what you'll do is just bend the asparagus, and wherever it breaks naturally, that's where it's more tender. So you could run through and break every piece of asparagus if you have the time for it, or you could line them all up, come about 1.5 inches, 2 inches up, and just clean them all at once like that. Our next goal is gonna be essentially turning all the other vegetables into something roughly the size of this asparagus. So we're gonna be going for like a French fry shape. So we can cut these. And once you have a nice flat surface like this, I feel comfortable cutting it while it stands up. So I pinch the vegetable with my thumb and my index finger. I bring my knife in between them, and I just make sure to squeeze tight and go straight down. And as you can see, we have 3 roughly equal sections of that. And now I'm gonna turn it back, curl in my fingertips, and just come straight down. And just like that, we have essentially zucchini fries. And what you don't want to do is cut your pieces too small, because then the vegetable will become mushy and overcooked before the tempura batter is crispy. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing to this yellow squash. Let's just see that one more time. Take off the top, take off the bottom, separate it in half so it's easier to work with. If you guys feel more comfortable doing it this way, cut it in half so you get yourself a much bigger flat surface to work on. I would cut that in half one more time, so your pieces won't be any more wide than about that, and then lay it down flat and just come back and get it in these roughly French fries sized pieces. Portobello mushrooms, this one's nice and easy. Make sure there's no stem in it, and then just nice, thick slices. And after we tempura batter and fry that, it's basically gonna be a mushroom fry that is delicious. The onions are essentially gonna be in onion rings. So you want to cut something thick enough that you make sure it'll hold together and not fall apart. Last but not least, the carrots. Go ahead, remove the top, remove the bottom, and now we have to peel. If you miss a little bit where your fingers are grabbing hold, just spin it around and get that last little bit. And boom, there's one clean carrot right there. And now carrots are gonna be very similar to how the zucchini and the squash was. Cut it in half, stand it up on its flat side. Be careful of your fingers as you slice down. And then guys, from here, you can either take this piece into a half or into thirds, depending on the size of your carrot. Mine's a little bigger, so I'm gonna go into thirds, and boom, we have roughly a French fry sized carrot stick right there. Now that all of our vegetables are beautifully cut, it's time to prepare our tempura batter, which requires just a few ingredients. I have all-purpose flour, 1 egg, and I have some club soda. Now it is important that everything stays as cold as possible, so my egg was pulled out of the fridge just now. All right everybody, so it's time to make the tempura batter, and here I have 1 beaten egg yolk. And now to this beaten egg yolk, I'm just gonna add 13 ounces or 410 milliliters of ice cold club soda. I have some ice in my club soda, and I'm just gonna strain that out, because we do not want the ice in our batter. We just want our water to be ice cold. And to our ice cold club soda, whisked up with our beaten egg yolk, I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and just a little pinch of salt. And now it's important to keep this as cold as possible. That's why we use the ice water. So I was just checking my batter and I cooked off a test piece and it's a little thicker than my preferences. So to combat that, I'm just gonna add a little bit more club soda and thin it out. Your goal is to produce a batter that's as thin as possible while still sticking to the vegetables. All right, guys, now it's time to just make our sauce real quick, our excellent, delicious, scrumptious, nice and good dipping sauce. Here I have a little bit of soy sauce, and joining our friend's soy sauce is a couple drops of sesame oil. Here's a little bit of garlic paste. That's gonna add some nice flavor. And then just a little bit of sesame seeds on the top. And then you go ahead and mix that all up, and you have yourself an excellent dipping sauce. If you guys like spicy, you can throw some pepper flakes or some of your favorite hot sauce in here. And boom, just 4 ingredients gets the job done. So now that we have all of our mise en place done, it's finally time to fry our delicious, scrumptious vegetables. So as you'll see, I have everything I need. I have my vegetables here. I have a little bit of flour. The flour is gonna help the batter adhere to the vegetables. So we're gonna go vegetables, flour, batter, fryer. And it's also important that you have some tools for getting the food out of the oil, and also a plate lined with some paper towel for catching the excess grease. All right, let's begin. I will take some of our zucchini right into the flour. Zucchini, into the flour, into the batter. I pick up the vegetable, I give it a little bangs against the wall so there's not too much batter on it, and right into the hot oil it goes. When your batter starts to get nice and golden brown like that, that's the perfect time to take it out and put it right on your paper towel. As soon as you're out of the fryer while you're still hot, everything just gets a little pinch of salt. From a distance, it might not actually look like these are battered at all, but that's the best part about the tempura, is that it's so thin and crispy and light. All these little strands of batter are so crispity crunchity. Look at how thin that batter is. That is excellent. It's exactly what you're looking for. And I can assure you that these are nothing but delicious. Now that our zucchini came out perfect and we know our batter's working, it's time to just move on towards the rest of the vegetables. So I have some carrots now, and then I'll work my way through the onions, the zucchini, the squash, the onions, the squash, and we'll fry them all, especially the squash and the onions. Oh, this is how we do it. How we do it. Oh, yeah. All right, everybody. Well, there you have it. I went through. I fried all my vegetables individually. We have our carrots, our zucchini, our onions look great. The asparagus. Look at these little air pockets on all these crispy, crunchy little nooks around. That is the power of the club soda, and also of keeping everything nice and cold. You can see all these little crispity crunchies all the way around. Everything just looks so good. When you take a look at something like this onion, and you can just see right through the batter, that is just perfect. That's exactly what you want, and that's how you know you succeeded. These mushrooms look perfect. Just teeny tiny little air bubbles all over. And I'll tell you what, when you give it a dip in this little soy sauce mixture here, there's nothing better. That is so satisfying. Crispy, crunchy, salty, deliciousness. There are so many sauces that will be good with a vegetable tempura. You could do a sweet Thai chili, I love that one. You could do a spicy mayo. But for 3 or 4 ingredients, it's really tough to beat the simplicity of this one. I just wanted to give a very special thanks to each and every one of you who comes back to support me, watch my videos. I hope you give this one a try. I hope you love it. I hope you share it with everybody. And I hope most of all to see you again next week. So for now, Chef Sawyer is gonna go bye-bye, but I'll be back soon, don't worry, okay? So don't you cry. Arrivederci.